take this golden chance and opportunity to kindly the closing ceremony of our lovely conference this year. It has been a very, very productive day since Thursday. We had interesting speakers, guests, participants, the delegates. Really, we learned a lot of things, and we had some news from the people who participated. So it's very encouraging to see how our conference can stimulate as well as can inspire others, and can also be other way to for the development of our continent, Mother Africa. So welcome you again, dear delegates, honorable guests. So we are going to start with a speech from Mr. Bright Simmons. Mr. Bright Simmons will have about 5 minutes to give his speech. Dear Honorable Mr. Bright Simmons is the president of Degree, a social enterprise working on 3 continents with governments, Fortune 500 companies and activists to safeguard human health and food security using technology. So with this note, I would like then to welcome Honorable Mr. Bright Simmons for the speech. Thank you so much. The floor is yours, Mr. Brighton.
Thank you very much. And with your permission, Mr. Chair, I'll be sharing my screen because I have a few slides to accompany my talk. First of all, my deep appreciation to the University of Beirut and the Model Africa Union team I was told that I'm allowed to use the experiences Mr. Chairman, am I still on?
Brighton, there are a kind of a technical problem, so I think we're trying to solve them. Maybe can you try now to speak? Mr. Brighton?
Yes, I had an unexpected technical issue. I hope,
okay.
Mr. Chairman, you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you now.
For that.
Okay.
So all pleasantries already dispensed with. I'll go straight to my closing remarks. I was remarking at the point before the interruption that I was told I could share the experiences that I have as a social entrepreneur, innovator working in Africa, in this very important moment of your deliberations to see what we can all determine to do after the event has ended. So I wanted to point out that about a decade and a half ago, I was confronted with this remarkable statistic that Africa accounted for nearly half, as much as 42% of all the fake medicines. These are medicines that look like medicines, but are actually not genuine medicines. So they are counterfeit, or you can call them fake, or you can call them knockoffs. And Africa accounted for about half of all the detections of counterfeit medicines in the world, though Africa produces and consumes less than 1% of all medicines. So let that statistic sink in. Africa produces and consumes less than 1% of all the medicines produced and consumed in the world. And yet, as much as 42%, nearly half of all the counterfeit medicines or fake medicines detected around the world comes from Africa. When I saw the statistic and the disproportionate burden that was on Africa, I was completely committed to doing what I could with the friends and professional colleagues that I had to respond to this really depressing situation. After a lot of research, it became evident that the only way we could solve the problem of counterfeit or fake medicines, these are medicines that look like medicines but are in fact not real medicines, the only way we could solve them was to create a solution that introduces transparency and visibility all the way from the factory where the drug was made or the medicine was made, through the intermediate stages like wholesalers and retailers, until that medicine reaches the hand of the patient in the pharmacy or the hospital. That is to say, we needed to create traceability, a digital technology that can trace the medicine from where it was made all the way through to when the patient received the medicine. And the patient should be able to use the most basic technology to confirm that the particular medicine that they've received is genuine. This was the task that confronted us if we wanted to address the problem of counterfeit and fake medicines. This was a global problem. Of course, Africa was experiencing a disproportionate share of this global problem, but it was a global problem. The European Union, the United States were also confronted with this problem. And therefore, there was a race around the world to come up with a solution that would address it. In Europe, the solution was called the FMD. In the United States, the solution was called the Drug Supply Chain Security Act. And in Europe, it was called the Falsified Medicine Directive. And both of them required transparency from manufacturing to the patient. And to provide a need, so before the patient takes the medicine, they can validate that the medicine came from the right source and was accredited. The difference was that in Europe and America, they had billions of dollars to invest in solving this problem. And in Africa, we had very little. The way we responded is a classic case of innovation. We decided to deploy the technologies and the tools that were likely to depress costs without reducing the objectives that we set. We decided to use the mobile phone ecosystem. We went to the telecom companies and built solutions all the way from the manufacturer to the consumer, but all riding on the back of mobile technology. In fact, at the end of it, the patient could use SMS, that's text messaging, to validate if the medicine was genuine or not. I am delighted to present to you that a few years after starting work on this initiative, we managed to produce the result we're looking for at 1% of the cost in Europe and America. 1%. That is the cost to the manufacturer of deploying the solution that we have built, making it possible for Nigeria to go live in 2010 and in 2014 to make this solution mandatory for all antimalarials and all antibiotics at a cost to the manufacturers at less than 1% what was the cost in Europe and America, and obviously at no cost at all to the patient or the consumer. Nigeria was therefore the first country in the world to introduce end-to-end visibility into any pharmaceutical supply chain worldwide. And remember, in Europe, 2019 was supposed to be the effective day they went live. It's still not live in Europe at the level of the patient and the consumer. Nigeria did it almost 10 years ahead of time. Today, we've moved that technology forward and deploying the same principles to address the issue of cold chain, that is medicines or products that have to be refrigerated to maintain their medicinal quality. So products or medical products like vaccines, for instance. What this tells us is that we only have to believe. We have all the capacity and all the strength and all the insight and all the wisdom to use innovation and appropriate technology to solve the most complex global challenges that also affect Africa, from climate change all the way to human trafficking, if only we can believe. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was amazing, Mr. Honorable Mr. Brighton. Thank you so much. Thank you again. Mille grazie. Thank you so much. We learned a lot of things from you, and basically you said we have only to believe. We have the capacity and ability to use the technology, for the potentiality of our continent. So thank you so much, and it was our hope to improve in that field of medicine and the supply. So thank you very much again. Now we are going to have also a speech from Honorable Mrs. ALIYA DIAWARA from Guinea-Bissau. She's a United Nations representative. So ALIYA is an economic affairs attaché at the permanent mission of Guinea-Bissau to the United Nations. She represents Guinea-Bissau at the United Nations Second Committee, which focuses on economic and financial affairs, as well as the Third United Nations Committee focused on social, humanitarian, and cultural issues. So with this note, I would like cordially to welcome Honorable Mrs. ALIYA DIAWARA. The floor is yours. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for that great introduction. So first of all, I wanted to thank the Model African Union for inviting me. It's such an honor to be here with all of you this evening. And just to give you a quick background, as they introduced, I'm from Guinea-Bissau and Burkina Faso, but I actually grew up in Saudi Arabia. And I think that because of that very international upbringing, I've always been drawn to global issues and international development. So I'm currently working for the permanent mission of Guinea-Bissau to the UN, and I really focus on economic development and also things related to sustainable financing, social and humanitarian issues. And what I do is that I kind of help draft resolution. I do some research on policy that are related to financing development, and I'm really focused on sub-Saharan Africa as a whole, but I would say Africa. So yeah, the reason I really wanted to speak to all of you tonight and for the closing ceremony is because I wanted to highlight how important platforms like the Model African Union are. So after this past year, I think we've all realized how important cooperation was. And I think that it's even more so important in the African context. So organizations like the African Union are extremely paramount to the development and the elevation of African issues. And I think the Model African Union is specifically important because it highlights the importance of youth in our region. As we know, our region is very vibrant, it's very young, but unfortunately, youth is not always represented in political spaces. So this initiative is extremely important. I also think it's important because it's time for African people to take control of the narrative and be more out there in the political space. For a very long time, other people have spoken for us. So it's very important that we speak for ourselves and that young people be the voice of that movement. I really want to highlight how young people in the African region can be in solidarity and be more innovative when it comes to finding solutions for international and global issues. Most specifically, we've seen that with the rise of social media. We know that the African continent is one of the best when it comes to mobile phones, social media, etc. And that due to its challenges, there's a lot of leapfrogging. We saw that with mobile banking, etc., etc. So I'm really happy that young people take the initiative to have platforms where we can discuss our most pressing issues. And I really, really, really want to push the organizing committee and the delegates to keep having those discussions, keep making all of those efforts, keep having innovative solutions, creating platforms, and just having a voice. It's extremely important. And I'm really glad I got to be a part of that experience. And the panels were really informative, rich, and very important for the future of our youth and the future of African.
Yeah, I think we have now some network problems. Maybe we're trying to fix it a moment.
And to keep pushing this voice. I don't know, I think I got a connection.
Sometime. Yes, Mrs. Honorable ALIYA, we didn't heard you for some second. Maybe you can repeat what you said last.
Sure. So sorry. So I just wanted to really push the youth and push the organization as well as its delegates to keep having those discussions and those conversations, because we really undermined the voice that we have. We're part of this world. We're extremely important. The world as it is today would not be without Africa and without our voices. So let's keep having our voices out there and be present in the global and political spaces. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Honorable Mrs. ALIYA. I've made a kind of note. So it has been a very enlightening speech about the importance of the youth for the development, the youth they have to take platform in the political spaces in Africa, but also to take control of the narrative of Africa, but also your appel to the Model African Union, the dear delegates who participated in the conference, that they have to further make more discussion, creating platform whereby they can develop the innovative ideas they have, and also for the future, so pushing the youth. So thank you very much. That was very enlightening, and hopeful we will achieve the goal. So now I would also like to take the opportunity to welcome Honorable Mrs. Caroline OBURE, who is a communications and program manager with the University of Nairobi, a regional integration consultant and Anchorseas Consulting, named as an African Voice on the Ground Authority in the training and practice of regional integration. So you are kindly welcome, Mrs. Caroline OBURE. Karibu sana.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for inviting me to give my closing remarks. Hello, am I there? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you very
great. Okay, it is with deep humility that I accept this honor and privilege to make the closing remarks in front of this magnificent audience. When I was approached to draw down the curtains for this illuminating show, I was left at a dire loss. Rarely does one get an opportunity to speak in front of the youth, global youth. This is a very special forum. If I sound like I'm still in awe of the quality of speakers that we had here, it is because I am. For 4 days, we have had a stellar cast of daughters and sons of Mama Africa, who in their personal and organizational capacities have dedicated their lives towards the advancement of the continent and her people. From bureaucrats serving in high regional international offices, those involved in high stakes lobbying for the African interests, in the corridors of global power, for those who have devoted their life to research on Africa and how we can make it better. And that was not all. We also interacted with presentations from children of Mama Africa feted by international organizations for their courage and commitment to working with African communities, career inventors and competitive innovators using technology, revolutionizing healthcare, those working tirelessly to silencing the guns, which is a topic that we, Africa Union, has been fighting for in this never-ending quest for regional peace building, and been hindering regional, those working towards narrowing the gaps that have been hindering regional integration for a common continental bloc. I'm sure where our forefathers and foremothers are watching from, they are indeed proud of us all. Thank you. If we forget everything we have learned during the 4 days of engagement, let us not forget that the entire Africa shall be relying on us and you as the youth to help Africa Union in carrying out the torch of the Agenda 2063 beyond this conference and breathing it into life. Lucky Dube, in one of his songs, said, "Nobody can stop reggae. COVID-19 stopped reggae by bringing the world to a stop." They also say that it is an ill wind that blows nobody any good. Despite the many challenges that COVID-19 brought with it, it must also be acknowledged that it helped countries recognize the risk of enterprise inertia, therefore a rise in innovation. As you return to your workspaces, you are encouraged to carry this message of hope to a better Africa. Make a promise to speak positively about Africa in your spheres of influence, changing minds about investing in the future of our continent and committing to using our adversity as strength to regional peace building and unity of purpose. And when all is said and done, let it be said that the Beirut 2021 conference was the spark that ignited the bushfire of Africa awakening. I cannot end this speech without acknowledging the organizers and sponsors of this conference. Just to mention there are a few that I interacted with. I had the privilege of speaking to Luena, Sonia, Jan, Kevin, and many others. Asanteni sana. When we meet again, inshallah, may we do it in circumstances that celebrate the gains made from 4 days of learning the learning we undertook here. May Mama Africa guide your steps. God be with you till we meet again. Thank you very much and see you there.
Asante sana, Honorable Mrs. Caroline. That was very, very inspiring. And I totally believe that we will do best to our Mama Africa. So as you have said that, let us not forget that Africa rely on us and we have to do something about Africa. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mrs. Honorable Caroline. Asante sana. So now we will have a break of just 1 minute. I mean, you can wake up and stretch yourself, and then after 1 minute, we will proceed with the presentation. But this time, we only have 5 minutes for the coming presentation. Okay, good. So now we can proceed with our program, and now we are going to have a presentation of the 4 resolutions by designated delegates of each committee, 5 minutes for each delegate to share shortly the journey and introducing the key points. So we will be having Honorable Mrs. Nadia Ahmed, Mr. Willem Salomon, Honorable Mrs. Henrike Hajney, a permanent representative committee, but also we will have Honorable Mr. Christopher Givot Bitululu, a representative of the Republic of Equatorial Guinea, specialized on technical committee, and also we will have Honorable Mrs. Neil Amali Hatel, representative of the Republic of Senegal, basing on Economic, Social, and Cultural Council, and also we will have the delegate specialized on a technical committee on gender, equality, and women's empowerment. So now the delegate can start sharing their journey by introducing the key points. Bear in mind that each of you only have 5 minutes. So maybe we can start with Honorable Mrs. Kadia Ahmad, and the others will follow.
Thank you very much. Yeah, the Permanent Representative Committee has decided in the beginning of our conference to work on the topic promoting local products within the regional economic communities and tackling challenges introduced by COVID-19 for interregional trade. And regarding this topic, all delegates together have worked out a resolution which has been successfully adopted by all delegates. And we have decided to divide our resolution into 3 sections. The first one is agriculture. The second one refers to industries in general. And the third section is about the extraction of resources. And maybe someone else can go on with the key points.
Yes, I can continue just to go through a little bit on the resolution, which our group name was Green Economy. On the first point, on our first point in our resolution is am I audible?
Of course, we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Viewing with appreciation the implementation and strong commitment from all involved African nations to push forward the African Continental Free Trade Area in order to promote inter-African trade, encourage those countries which have not signed and ratified the agreement yet to do that quickly. Our second point was they were fully aware of the fact that most of the EU member states export the majority of their resources in an unprocessed form and rely on manufactured products which were produced outside the countries or even the continent. Taking into account that this is due to not yet developed processing industries in EU member states and global trade agreements, which facilitates Africa's role as a primary resource exporter. Acknowledging the necessity to establish government-owned enterprises that promote industries for further processing resources and to add value to the manufactured products. Bearing in mind the need to recommend the EU to lobby for a change of the neoliberal agenda of the WTO rules, to be able to implement protectionist measures for all infant industries and further protectionist measures for agricultural products without the threat of sanctions. I think I can also give this chance to the next presenter to continue on the important points.
Thank you. Due to the short time we have, I would just add on what Nadia said before. So our resolution focused on the 3 points of agriculture, industries, and raw materials and resources. And as we want to encourage inter-African trade, we would like to develop more processing industries and less dependency on global processed materials. Therefore, we also like to prioritize the agricultural industrialization, but still acknowledge and support small-scale farming as it is an important factor for countries for our food self-sufficiency, and also regarding the issue of climate change. And on the point of raw materials, we also touched upon that we have a strong force. For example, the oil exporting countries. If we would build a single market, we would have a stronger force on the global negotiation table. And these are just some key points of our end product. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much, dear delegates, for the amazing work. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now we can hear from Honorable Mr. Christopher Givot.
Okay. Thank you, honorable delegation, for the speech. First of all, we would like to thank the organizer of this extraordinary conference. In addition, our thanks also and our vibrant congratulations to all members of the Specialized Technical Committee on Education, Science and Technology, without forgetting the energetic contribution of honorable chairman and chairwoman of this committee. Our committee has elaborated two good tests last day in a wonderful and rich resolution on the following time, supporting and creating opportunity for local technology as a solution to challenges resulting from the COVID-19 crisis. In a sense, our committee has highlighted the importance for African leaders to urgently put in place policies and funding to support innovation on the continent. For example, in a time of intellectual property, we suggested that the African Union should take this issue in hand in order to allow young entrepreneurs to have easy access to patents, and beyond that, to finance their development so that they in turn contribute to absorb being employment deficit, for example, in Africa. So we suggest also the establishment of a committee who can, where other country can in Africa can put our resources for to help the sector of health. And so this Richest Persons has been an extraordinary opportunity to meet wonderful people and to learn many things about how the different institutions of African Union are organized. Thank you.
Now, thank you so much. That was very nice. Now I would like to hear from Honorable Mrs. Nele Amali Hartel. 5 minutes.
Thank you very much. Yes, in the Economic, Social and Cultural Council, we had the possibility to debate the important topic of Pan-African reparations for the ecological and climate debt of the global north. Our debate gave the delegations mainly the chance to state the challenges they are facing in regards of the climate crisis. Based on this, we tried to elaborate different projects to overcome the effects of climate change. To get into the resolutions, resolution that has been successfully adopted by all delegates. It was really important to us to highlight the need for cooperation among all African countries in order to conquer the climate crisis. Therefore, the Economic, Social and Cultural Council recommends the establishment of a new program division in the regional United Nations Economic Commission for Africa called Climate Change Policy. to give the possibility for exchange between the African countries. Additionally, we recommend the establishment of a website to also simplify the exchange of information between these countries. Furthermore, we support especially projects in the area of climate-smart agriculture, projects to react on the sea level rise, and projects to conquer drought. And last but not least, we call for the creation of a monetary fund that will focus on financing those projects. Thank you very much for your attention.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, dear Honorable Delegates. Now we are going to hear one from the Specialized Technical Committee on Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment. One representative from this section.
Okay. Hello. Okay.
Hello, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So I am Lena Lare, and I will present the resolution that we have done in STC Committee on Gender and Women's Empowerment. So having the honor to represent the Republic of Chad during this ceremony, I would like to thank first of all the model of African Union and all the chairs, but also the delegates. So the topic on which we've worked is calling attention to and fighting gender-based violence, as well as recognizing the challenges arising the pandemic. So we had many representatives of countries like Republic of Egypt, Republic of Botswana, Republic of Rwanda, and Republic of Chad. So it is important for us to explain the situation that many women are facing all over the world. Taking into account gender-based violence refers to harmful acts directed at an individual based on gender, mostly women and girls, and many take different forms, which include sexual, physical, mental, and economic harm inflicted in either public or private. Acknowledging that most states have already tried to tackle the topic of gender-based violence and set up some measures to reduce the risk and support all victims of gender-based violence, recommend to the Assembly of the African Union and the Pan-African Parliament to strengthen policy and advocacy, action to legal and policy reform. So we have set up some of resolutions like working together with opinion leaders and local organizations to empower communities, ensuring the support of opinion leaders like imams, priests, teachers, and elders in the implementation of education measures, given their influence in the communities and considering their close contact with the individual in the community. But also it is important for these people to sensitize leaders so that they can offer better support and counseling their community members. They can also offer shelter and support to the victim. It means these women who face this situation of gender violence. So we advocate also for education for both genders, starting from but not limited to this informal school setting on personal rights for each individual. How to feel charges against someone in gender violence cases. So it is important also to communicate, because the communication is on a point that is important. When we communicate with girls and boys, they will be able to understand the situation and learn more from it. So it is also important to learn to boys and girls how to manage with conflicts. The respect and personal space is also important. So we must not also forget to help these women also to have esteem of themselves, and the importance also of healthy relationship to prevent the risk intimate partner violence, which is a common form of gender-based violence. So fighting the culture silence, because when some women faces all of these situations, in some cultures, especially in Africa, they told them you must shut up because you are a woman, you are not obliged to speak. That this woman is suffering, so it is important to give them the chance to speak. And as also I am a woman, so I feel this point very important, and I encourage all women here to speak. It is very important. So to summarize, we must work together with the leaders and all the women and the women organizations all over the world. So I give the floor to Ms. Surprise to continue. Thank you. Ms. Surprise, you have the.
Thank you, Delegate of the Republic of Chad. I will summarize on our discussions in the committee. So tackling the problem of gender-based violence and its rise during the COVID-19 pandemic, the FCC on Gender Equality and Women Empowerment has been able to have extensive diplomatic and substantial discussions these past few days. The committee has been able to come up with possible solutions on how to promote financial development among women, create awareness on gender-based violence and ways to cope with the issue, support the survivors of gender-based violence, and provide some, if not all, the needed resources to enable us attain gender equality and women empowerment. We encourage government, through the help of the African Union and the Pan-African Parliament, to consider taking up the solutions presented in our draft resolution paper. These recommendations will enable us to protect, uphold, and preserve the dignity and rights of women, empower them in all sectors of life, economically, socially, and politically. Ending with the Luo proverb, a home without daughters is like a river without a source. The home in this context being our country, we definitely need gender equality and women empowerment for the greater good of our sustainable community.
Thank you so much, dear delegates. That was very, very inspiring. So we have to speak, fighting the silent. Thank you, both of you, honorable delegates. So now we are going into another section, dear honorable delegates and guests. And now is the announcement of prizes. I mean, all of you did a great job, but we still have we have some prizes for some sections, but thank you all. And now I would like to welcome dear honorable chairs to announce the prizes. At the very first instance, I would like to welcome Honorable Mr. Odunola Oladeji, a permanent representative committee.
All right, thank you very much for the opportunity. I believe I'm audible enough. So on behalf of the chair for the PRC, we've decided on these 3 distinguished awards. The first is the award for the overall best delegate. And this was a decision that was made upon considering the position paper, then the contribution, and also the responsiveness during the course of the simulation session. And this award goes to the delegates of Ghana. So if, so please, you can cheer up. Thank you. Then the second award that we deem fit as the chairs of PRC is the award to the new common position paper. And this was decided by the 2 chair, Fiona Felye and then Odunola Oladeji. So, and this award goes to the delegate of Ethiopia. All right, we can share hope. All right, and lastly, we've decided that the final and third award would be the award for the most responsive. And this was a clear consensus of who raised more points, and then motions, how responsible the delegate, responsive rather, the delegate was during the simulation session. And this goes to the delegate for Central African Republic. So these are clearly the three positions of the chairs of PRC. All right, we really appreciate everybody's contribution, of course, and this is what we decide as the chair. All right, thank you very much. This is from PRC.
Okay, thank you so much, Honorable Mr. Odwala Oladeji, for the announcement of the prizes and also for the prize winners. Now we are going to hear from Honorable Mrs. Lantavu Loikemia, who is specialized in Technical Committee on Education, Science, and Technology.
Thank you very much. Well, greetings to everybody, distinguished guests and diplomats. My name is Lantavu Loikemia, and I have the honor to be the chair for this year's Bay MAU conference. First of all, I would like to thank you all for this amazing opportunity that was given to me. I would like to thank my co-chair and all the participants who were in the committee. They were all amazing, and I couldn't be more grateful. I am pleased to announce that the award for the best position paper will go to the representative, to the delegate of Equatorial Guinea, and the award for the best delegate will go to the delegate of Senegal. My congratulations to both of them who stood out with their amazing presence and for their outstanding work with the position paper. I wish you all the best and keep doing what you're doing, because you will change the world one day with your discussions and your work. Thank you all so very much, and probably next year I wish for all of us to be in the university and have an in-person conference. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Honorable Mrs. Lantova Loikemia, for the announcement of the prizes, as well as to all the winners. It's amazing. So now we are going to hear from the Committee of Economic, Social, and Cultural Council, OCOSOC. It is my honor to announce the best position paper, which goes to Uganda. So congratulations. And the second one, the best delegate, goes to South Africa. South Africa, congratulations. And most outstanding delegate, overall, best, goes to Senegal. Congratulations, delegation of Senegal. And we would also like to express our sincere thanks for the following people. The first one goes to Luena, the delegate of Zambia. Thank you so much. I think you had a lot, Luena. She moderated actively, and we enjoyed a lot from her. So thank you, Luena. But also we express our heartfelt thanks to Miriam, the delegate of Mauritius, and thank you so much, Miriam, and also to Jan, a delegate of Tunisia, for breathing life into our discussion, and indeed to all the delegation. So thank you so much for that. Congratulations. Okay.
Dear moderator, if you don't mind, I'm a co-chair for the ECOSOC committee. I would also like to acknowledge, my name is Gloria Nasari. Greetings from East Africa, Kenya, who's my fellow delegate, Aisha from Kenya, and I from Tanzania, Habari from here, Dar es Salaam. I would like to acknowledge the huge contribution of my co-chair, Aisha, and my special contributions from our fellow delegates who were there. I acknowledge them and the best awards that you gave. Thank you. And thank you for the BEMA team for putting this up together. I look forward to meeting you again in Germany at the university and many other diplomatic meetings towards building up our continent. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much for the greetings from Gloria, and yeah, thank you very much, honorable delegate. Thank you. Now we are going to hear from Honorable Mrs. Aisha Baba, specialized in Technical Committee on Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment, to announce the prize. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Greetings, everyone. My name is Aisha Babar, and I had the opportunity to chair the Specialized Technical Committee on Gender and Women Empowerment with my very talented co-chair Eddie Dion. And so basically, the flow of our committee was quite different from the usual model, model African Union and the model UN. I would just like to begin with applauding the efforts of all the delegates, who were all of them were beginners, and they did a great job in writing resolutions and making points in their discussions. So so we appreciate the efforts of all the delegates who provided us with points and with their very, very precious contributions in the committee. So but for the STCGEWE, we only have one award, which is the best position paper, because we equally acknowledge all the best efforts of all the delegates who are the new beginners who learned a lot and who showed their best in their conference. So the award for the best position paper goes to the delegate of Gambia. So many congratulations, delegate of Gambia. And for the rest of the delegates, me and my co-chair, we are very, very proud of you for learning so much, for doing your best, despite facing some technical challenges in between. And we are also really thankful to the Model African Union team for giving us an opportunity to chair this conference. And we hope to see all of the diplomats in some other conference as well.
Yeah, thank you so much, Honorable Mrs. Aisha Baba, for the announcement of the prizes, as well as to the winners. So now we are going to listen to some of the speeches, and we are going to start with Honorable Mr. Hamza Guedamsi, who is a young Tunisian activist, a senior technician biologist. So parallel to his work, he's pursuing his studies in a master's degree in health law. And in 2013, he founded the Pan-African Youth Initiative, the NGO Model African Union Tunisia, MAU, of which he is the chairperson. So with this hand, I would like to cordially welcome Honorable Mr. Hamza Guedamsi for a short speech. Thank you. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. It's such pleasure and honor. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, dear friends, it's a great honor to speak today for this adventure that keeps me in orbit between the stars, when anything can be accomplished, but with perseverance, determination, and generosity, of course, and contemplating those shining eyes and that sparkling glow, which crowns the efforts that make it happen. It's essential today to focus all our efforts as young Africans and African civil society to invest more in education and learning in its various forms, formal and informal one, by promoting methodologies that offer space for learning by doing, that offer space for reflection and analysis. And if we take care of the future of education and learning in Africa, we can ensure that future generations are more aware of the social economical development issues of the continent and at the local level. And if we ensure that we have minds that are sensitive to the future of their fellow citizens, we will almost certainly be able to reduce the gap and sources holding back the development of our continent. One thought has always intrigued me and pushed my curiosity to go all the way. When it starts to get more challenging, it's the right way. Then we are sure that we are no longer running on a loop of speeches, which is a day or daydreams, but we are building, implanting, and preserving the treasures we have. Questions about the future of our continent, our people, and our planet, questions about the real hidden power we have and the power of change can exercise. If we are aware, if we take responsibility, and if we favor we instead of the I. In 2013, the occasion of the 50th anniversary of the OIU African Union, a spark gave way to several reflections. If we young Africans had the opportunity to take part in the development process of Africa, if we had the opportunity to be in the place of the decision makers of the continent, would be able to present solutions for a better future for the African people? Then came the idea to establish the Model African Union, an African Union miniature with youth, civil society, vision, and approach, and with the perspective of building our Africa and our world for 2063. Then 6th generation editions, of course, running, still running, also with the MAU buyout here, which I congratulate. We African youth today are the militants of this continent and this world to take up the challenges that are accumulating every day for the Africa we want. We have the potential and we are able to prove that we are more than numbers or percentage, that we are brains, thoughts, spirits, that we are the guardians of the memory and heritage of our ancestors. We are the founders of our future and the next generations. I may have a scientific mind, notice it also in my speech somehow, sometimes or somehow, but the flame that drives me and drives my motivation is Pan-African Universal. I will not miss opportunity to thank and congratulate the organizing team, Buyout MAU, and all those who contributed in any way to make this event a success. Build the Africa we want. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Hamza. That was very inspiring and a lot of important points you mentioned. Yeah, the Africa we want, we have to take the responsibility and to use the we and not the I thing, and also to invest in education in both formal and informal, and many other points you mentioned. So thank you so much for interesting, short, conscious speech. Now we are going to listen to Honorable Mrs. Adieu Sieta Majok. So Honorable Mrs. Atiye Major is a South Sudan analyst, writer, and activist. She's co-founder. She co-founded Legacy for African Women and Children Initiative, a national NGO in South Sudan. So I would like then to welcome Honorable Mrs. Atiye Sieta Majok for a short speech. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me to this incredible, incredible opportunity to interact with you all and to also share my thoughts and to also share my own experiences regarding the Model African Union, I would like to firstly congratulate everyone that has participated in the last number of days. You've dedicated your time, you've dedicated your efforts and your energies during, some unprecedented times that we are experiencing globally, particularly with the pandemic. So I want to congratulate all of you for the amazing work that you've done. Things like Model African Union is a very unique experience. It's an experience that quite a number of people actually don't know about, and they're not aware of it, and they don't realize the importance of it. Yet it's incredibly important. Several years ago, I had the opportunity to attend the Model African Union in Addis Ababa at the African Union. And that's also where I met Hamza. He was also one of the trainers there. Also, I met Luena there as well. And it was an incredible opportunity to represent one of the diasporas. So I was actually the diaspora. I'm currently based in the United Kingdom. So it was an incredible opportunity. It gave me a chance to network. And through those networks, I'm here giving a speech because I know Luena personally, and she knows that the work that I do in South Sudan. So what I want to really say is that it's incredibly important for African youth to engage, not only with their own communities and also their own country members, but also with others throughout the continent in general. This continent has so much opportunity. We are the youngest continent. We have so many incredible brains, incredible minds. We have an incredible amount of human resource, talent, skill set and background that we should be sharing with each other. And we can collaborate on so many different projects, as well as generally collaborating for positive things that we can do for the continent. Our continent is shown often in a very negative light. Our continent is often being left behind when there really is no reason for it to be left behind. So my recommendation and suggestion to all of you is keep on participating in something like the Model African Union. Check out websites for opportunities, apply to as many different opportunities as you can. Do free training courses, do anything to get your skills, knowledge, and experience up, because that will really help you compete not only on the African level, but also on the global level. And this also counts for those who live in diaspora or those from other non-African communities. It's very important to have the experience and skill set and background. And I also want to mention that as African youth or Friends of Africa, we must value anything made in Africa. And that means valuing the art, the businesses, the skills that we have, the talents, as well as the knowledge. And it's only when we celebrate what we have from the continent that other people can be convinced that we deserve to have spaces. So claim those spaces, keep working on your CV, keep working on your background, keep collaborating. After this meeting, get down people's names, add people on LinkedIn, interact with everyone, and let's try and make a better Africa for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Mrs. Atie Majok. That was very inspirational. And I started also to take some notes that we have to claim the youth, we have to claim the spaces, and you are kindly appel that they have to be updated on shaping their skills, but also we ourselves, we have to value our arts, knowledge, and etc., but also to have a kind of collaboration. So that was very, very inspiring, and thank you so much for sharing your incredible experiences with Model African Union and it is affairs. So thank you so much, Honorable Mrs. Atie Majok. And now we are going to listen to the closing words from our chairperson, who is of course the chairperson, Honorable Mrs. Chingetai Choto, who is present here in Bayreuth. So I would like to take this moment to welcome her for the closing words. Mrs. Chingetai, welcome.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to congratulate everyone for making it this far into our conference. Despite all the technical issues, the glitches, the fatigue that I'm sure we all faced at some point, we all made it work, each and every one of us. It has been an absolute pleasure getting to know everyone and experiencing your enthusiasm for all these topics related to the African continent. When organizing this conference, we tried to look at the digital format not as a loss, but as an opportunity to do things that we never could have done in a normal situation. Our vision was fulfilled. We were able to have participants from all over the world, which was definitely exciting to see. On behalf of the Bayreuth Model African Union Association, I would like to thank our honorable guests who took time out of their busy schedules to share some inspirational words with us today. Bright Simmons, Adieu Majok, Hamza Gedamsi, Caroline OBURE, and ALIYA DIAWARA. Thank you to our sponsors for all your support, Brot für die Welt and the Africa Multiple Cluster of Excellence, and at the University of Bayreuth. This conference could not have been possible without your help. I would like to thank our workshop and panel discussion facilitators and moderators, our artists who performed and are yet to perform after this. Thank you for sharing your talent and creativity with us. We are also grateful for all of you who attended the workshops and forums that we hosted. I hope you were able to learn and perhaps teach something of value to others. Thank you to all the chairs for preparing and running our committee sessions. Thank you for making the core of our conference, which is the simulation of the African Union, happen. Thank you, delegates, for your participation. You are the heart of our conference. All the resolutions that you worked on will be published on our website, so you all have a chance to take a look at them. I would like to congratulate you all. A special congratulations goes, of course, to our award winners. I would like to thank the organizing team who put their heart and soul into making this event a reality. Their commitment persisted even during challenging times. As you can imagine, what you have been experiencing in these last few days is the product of months and months of planning. To see it all come to fruition is something that fills me with pride. Thank you to my fellow chairperson, Dionis Kindata, for all your support and contribution to the success of this conference. I would like to thank you all for being a part of the first ever and hopefully last purely digital MAL conference. We hope that we will be able to go back to the normal format, but also make use of some of the advantages that a digital conference offers. This was definitely a learning experience and we can all grow from here. Our conference is not yet over. We still have a couple of things lined up. We organized a dance workshop and a party. I hope you all stick around for that. It's an opportunity to loosen up a bit and enjoy the diverse music from the African continent, from Afrobeats to Rumba to Amapiano. It will be great fun, I promise. We wish you all the best. We hope you and your loved ones will stay healthy, and we hope to meet you all in person in the not so distant future. Thank you.